that a big... I love you, Reema. Yo, Amir.
Hi everyone, welcome to the break. The cast and I have rehearsed this for weeks now, and we're glad we finally put it together today. I hope you enjoy it, and please laugh my jokes.
So thank you all for coming. I truly did not expect this turnout. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much.
Father, I want to ask you something. I need some money to buy a new car.
You want to buy a new car? You don't even like cars. Do you think I live under a rock?
Well, technically, ceilings are made of...
I am not giving you any money because I know where it will go. Down the drain, just like your great priorities.
Come on, you got lucky with your business. Shouldn't we be enjoying our lives with the wealth we have now?
Son, if I were to do anything with my money, the last thing I would do is give it away to an irresponsible person like you. You dropped out of college, you don't have a job, and you just got off on bail for physical assault. Do you really think now is the time to be asking me for my fallout?
But what more can I do? My father has everything you want.
See, this is what I mean. God forbid, la samahallah, you actually walk. I always envisioned my son taking over my business, but oh, I should come down from cloud nine. Pass the sword. Never mind.
I fail to understand what you're doing with your wealth. What are you going to do? Take it to your grave?
Oh, this is about your old man kicking the bucket. Don't worry, I've left a good portion of my will, although recent actions have convinced me to rewrite my will.
Here you go, sir.
You are despicable. Can't even bear to call you my father.
It's okay, I always prefer the title Ammi Timothy.
Sir, you've got a visitor, Detective Marcus.
Oh, please let him in. Go on, Wala. You're the best behavior.
I want nothing to do with this family.
Am I interrupting something?
No! Sister! Get us coffee and the boat just quickly! Quickly!
So I see things are moving smoothly here?
Well, what can I say? I've been blessed with a perfect family. My son wants all the money in the world, and my Katka daughters only visit me during gift giving season. That's not fair.
Thank you, Crystal. It may seem unfair now, but it'll turn around in the end. Trust me.
Well,
And don't you children have a right to your wealth?
what can I say? I've given these children everything in the world. I'm starting to feel they don't love me. They just love my money.
Oh, bollocks. Your children love you, they just don't know how to show it.
Well, I don't know why they fail to. I don't know why they fail to appreciate me. Maybe it's because their mother passed away early. Even though I did everything I can to make sure they don't feel what it's like not to have a mother.
I understand. I lost my father when I was young. But anyway, you're doing a great job raising your children on your own. Don't beat yourself up too much.
Yeah, well, enough about it. How are you? How's work?
Oh, just the usual. We caught 9 men in a heist. Biggest hit of the month.
Sweet! That's what they deserve.
Yeah, anyway, you'll move, Tim.
Like mate, حبيبي.
Sir, she has arrived.
Chloe!
Father, I missed you so much. Oh, you look as young as ever. Have you been using the chemical rejuvenation treatment I gave you last month? Oh, it has done such wonders to my skin that even bleeding is worth it.
I will never understand women, but it is always a pleasant sight to me to see my daughter during holiday season. How are you? How's Ronald?
Things are fine. Let's not talk about Ron. I came here to have a good time.
Hey, Chloe.
Connor! You don't look a day over 20.
And you don't look a day under 60.
You know, I wasn't going to say anything, but have you gotten shorter since the last time I saw you?
It's just that looking down on people is what you do for a living.
Shut up, Connor. No one likes you.
Oh, how nice it is to see my family back. Anyways, I'm gonna go to my office to make some calls. Try not to kill each other, bellies.
You're not taking care of him.
Well, I'm not his only child.
You know I live far away.
Well, you should leave that scumbag husband of yours and move back here.
Don't interfere with my life matters, please.
Well, you do then.
When will you ever go up?
When pigs fly. Or actually, when you learn those 20 amino acids of yours. And what kind of biology CMU graduate can differentiate between leucine and isoleucine?
Literally, all of us. Who are you to say anything? You dropped out of computer science.
Professor Ross.
That actually makes sense. Anyway, you seem like you have a lot to get off your chest.
No, let's go get a drink later tonight.
Our yearly tradition. I'm looking forward to it. The only time you're nice to me is when you're not sober.
Oh, you left them just for
got you dinner. Roasted chicken and fruits for dessert.
Ah, thank you. Set it on the table, too. This smells just like your mother's cooking. You know, ever since your mother passed away, you children have fed my boy. This smells just like Jane's cooking.
Yeah, I guess it's in our DNA.
Not in Connor's DNA, though. I wonder what went wrong with all that crossing over big combination. Yeah, about in the news nowadays.
Yeah, they're going berserk with all of this DNA research. Have you been following the O.J. Simpson trial?
A double murder, wasn't it?
Yeah, I can hardly believe it. You know, they're trying to get DNA from the scene to pinpoint the crime on O.J. Simpson. It's crazy.
Ah, Simpson himself?
Yes. Super crazy. Anyway, I'm going out with Connor later to get some air. I'll see you later. Ciao!
See you!
Anyways, I wonder when our lives would be this joyous, such a happy family reunion.
A rather peculiar family reunion. Who forces their father into chemical rejuvenation treatment? You know what? Why are you saying this? Mr. Timothy takes good care of us.
Listen, I don't want to spend the rest of my life working like a dog.
It pays for your bills. I mean, why are you complaining? Don't be so pessimistic.
Listen, unlike you, I want much more.
You know what they say, money won't buy you happiness.
You naive woman. Money will buy my wife jewelry. It could send my kids to college. The only people who say that garbage are already rich and they're already satisfied with their lives. Plus, they just say that to make us peasants feel better about ourselves.
But regardless of all that, you'll be financially secure even when you retire. Mr. Timothy has mentioned that our names are in the will too.
Oh, interesting. That just makes me wonder why the old man won't just die already.
Don't be so cruel. What hasn't this man given you?
Listen, he doesn't even care about giving his own children his money.
Oh, so now you're eavesdropping on their conversations? Geez, it's his personal life. Do not interfere.
Crystal, come on, come on. I know well enough that your eyes are on his money too. Just admit it.
What? Shut up and get out. And for chauffeur, you do drive me crazy.
Oh yeah? Well, for a maid, you sure made a lot of progress with your puns.
Love you, honey.
This reminds me of orientation.
I hate you, Sad.
I know, I hate you too.
No. I mean, I hate my life right now. Father doesn't love me. I'm a failure. And I suck at everything.
Father does care about you, Connor.
Is that the only part of my statement you decided to disprove?
Yeah, I guess. But my point is, your life is not as bad as you think it is. You're just saying all of this because you're intoxicated.
Well, an intoxicated mind speaks the sober eye.
An intoxicated mind also takes realities and twists them into something they're not.
I hate Father. Sometimes I wish the old man just wasn't here.
Connor! You had enough to drink. No, let's go. I'm taking you home. You'll walk.
Oh, sorry.
No problem, kiddo. They don't appreciate anything.
That, in tandem with other uncontrollable drinking problems. When will these kids ever learn?
I think this is the scene where they come in. And now we know that what's the way to put it somewhere. Just gonna follow. Sun could have gone, daughter could have gone. We don't know who might have done.
Wait, what? Sir, I brought you your tea and Detective Mark. Oh, my God! I just cleaned the floor! Who did this? Clyde! Come here, quick!
Good Lord! What happened here? My friend! Stay with me!
Oh my God! What happened? What did you do? Stay away from him!
I didn't do anything! I swear he was like this when I found him.
He's dead.
Call the chauffeur! Call Connor! Connor!
They're not quick! They're not here.
What do you mean?
Connor went for a drink and chauffeur went a while ago to get some cigs or...
Gosh, at least call an ambulance!
Isn't healthcare for living people? Shouldn't we be calling like, services?
show them. And they set up all these tables. Show them.
Oh yes. So sorry.
Thank God you're here. 2 hours ago, I came into this room and I found Mr. Timothy.
You must be the detective?
Yes, I'm Detective Marcus and Detective Robert. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, detective. I'm Officer Ross This is Officer Demond Rodrigo. Thank you for coming. Let's get started right away. So at approximately 11:15 p.m., about an hour ago, according to the way his body and arms were positioned when he was on the ground, it can only be the letter C.
Wait. You sure he wasn't trying to make a sad face? I mean, aren't people usually sad in their last dying moment?
I can't believe the real The C stands for Chloe, his daughter who walked in right after he died, Miss Chloe Harrington.
Or it could have been C for Connor Harrington. Maybe even C for the maid, Miss Crystal, who found the victim's body.
And to think that I was in the household when this murder occurred. If only I'd come in earlier.
Who else lives in this house anyways?
There is a chauffeur. He was missing at the time of the murder. He was supposedly out to buy 2 steaks. We're currently trying to locate him. Notice his title starts with a C too, chauffeur. Wow, what are the chances that all of the suspects in this situation have names that start with a C? How very clever.
There is something also a broken lamp. So far, it is the only kind of evidence to indicate that there must have been some sort of struggle before Timothy died.
If there was a struggle, then we could find DNA on Mr. Timothy's body, right? Maybe DNA on his nails or a string of hair?
No, we don't believe in DNA matching. The whole thing is a fraud.
There was a recent breakthrough where science could literally prove that potentially
DNA matching would waste our time. It costs a lot of money and no one believes in it.
but Galileo got punished for thinking the world was round, and hey, he was right.
You've definitely heard of the O.J. Simpson trial, right? The prosecution tried to argue their case against O.J. using DNA matching, but the jury didn't buy it. Anyways, I've asked Chloe to spot anything odd in the room. So far, everything seems to be in order. And since Miss Crystal came from this very door and didn't run into anyone on her way, it is only possible that the perpetrator entered and exited the room from this back window.
Look, there are footprints outside.
Good catch. They're relatively huge. Probably a male's footprints?
What? Wait. So women can vote and all, but they can't have big feet?
No, I
There is something else over there. Something brown. Is that a watch?
Well, whose is it?
No idea. It looks very expensive though.
We need to scan it for fingerprints. We'll send it to forensics.
Okay.
Oh, guys, there's something interesting. Come take a look at this.
What is that? Is it dust?
This looks like ash, cigarette ash. I recognize it because I smoke too. We need to treat this as it could be the killers.
Or Timothy's.
Either way, if it were the former, we could track whoever bought the specific brand of the cigarettes once we ID it. Everything out of the ordinary in this room is crucial, and we need to treat it as evidence. Ross, go take care of the footprints and the ash. Iman, go find out whose watch that is. Now, where are the Harrington children?
Left in the living room.
Fine. Detectives, we'll be taking the rest of the case from here. We will be interviewing all residents of this house and consider this a murder case. Do not let anybody touch anything. It is imperative that we treat everybody in this household as suspects. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Let's bring in the next suspect. Hi, Chloe. Detective Mark and Detective Robin here. We're here to ask you some questions.
Who could have done this?
That's what we're trying to figure out, Chloe. Do you know anyone who could have done this? Have anything against your father?
Oh God, no. My dad was a great man and he was loved by everyone.
You sure your father had no enemies?
Not as far as I know.
All right, Chloe. Your father was a very, very wealthy man. Could you possibly give us a little insight into his business?
Yeah, sure. So my dad first started his business in the 1960s. His first attempt failed. So he ended up going bankrupt and he shut down the business. However, he started again in the 1970s and it worked. And he became one of the most successful and richest men in the city.
Don't mind us writing notes. What was your relationship like with your father?
He gave me everything that I wanted. We were very close.
All right. Could you possibly tell us where you were at 11 o'clock at the night of the murder?
I was in my room watching The Simpsons, and then Crystal called in my name. She actually screamed my name. I rushed, and oh my God, when I got there, it was the most horrendous thing I've seen in my life.
Indeed it was. I'm sorry. Chloe, do you recognize this watch?
Oh gosh, no, I'll never wear something this ugly. It clashes with my skin tone, but it does look familiar.
Chloe, you're
I
right.
don't know who the watch belongs to.
Okay. Chloe, this might be a little hard to hear, but do you know what murder weapon was used against your father?
I heard it was a knife. Did you ID it? Do you know where it came from?
It actually came from your house's kitchen.
What? Are you it was that Crystal that did it? That wench?
Chloe, there were only one person. There were only one person's fingerprints on the knife.
Who?
You.
What? That doesn't make any sense. Wait, I served my dad dinner that night. The murderer must have used the same knife.
Okay, well, what is your relationship like with your maid and chauffeur?
They're very hardworking people. I've never had a problem with it.
What about Connor? How's your relationship with him?
I see him once or twice a year. I'd say we're close.
All right, Chloe, I think that's all for now. Thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Ciao.
Get the next one in.
Wait, just before that, the girl seemed to put an innocent persona. Also, what was that about her business, her father's business in the 1960s?
I don't get it. It's like she's deliberately trying to divert our attention from what's happening right now in the present. All right.
Hi, Miss Crystal. I'm Detective Mark and this is Detective Robin. We have a series of questions to ask you.
Am I in trouble? Because I swear I did not do anything.
Listen. Nobody's in trouble. We're just here to ask you a couple of questions. Could you possibly tell us what happened that night?
So, at 9:30 p.m., I finished cleaning Mr. Harrington's room. And then I came downstairs to make some tea for you, Detective Mark, because Mr. Harrington told me you were visiting. And then Mr. Harrington used to fancy my teas. I would make them 5 times a day for him. He liked it well cooked, with some honey, with some ginger. Oh God, what will I do now when he's gone? I need to start looking for a new hobby.
That's all great and all, Miss Crystal, but you're going a little off track here.
Okay, I'm so sorry, I tend to do that. So, what was I saying? So yeah, I made a tea for you, Detective Mark. I believe at around 11:13 p.m. you rang the door, so I let you in. I left you in the living room, grabbed my tray of teas, And then we went upstairs together. And then, well, you know what happened after that.
Yes. How was your relationship with Mr. Timothy?
Oh, he was a very, very fair man. He never raised his voice at us. Always paid us on time. This one time, he gave me a raise in my paycheck when my daughter got sick. Poor thing, she had pneumonia. It's a weird word. I remember that rainy day, I had to go outside to call for a doctor because chauffeur wasn't around.
Listen,
He was taking.
this is very beautiful and all, but we're talking about Mr. Timothy.
Okay, so what else do you want me to tell you?
This is pointless. What about other people in this house? Can you tell us a little more about them?
So Chloe is visiting us from New York. She lives with her husband. Nasty, very nasty man is her husband. Poor thing. I still don't know why she doesn't leave him.
Could you possibly elaborate on that?
They would often argue. I heard the other time they were arguing, and he was asking her if she's got the money.
Money?
Of course this is about the money.
I mean, Mr. Harrington was the richest man in the neighborhood. Even his kids had their eyes on his will.
Wait. Am I wrong in thinking that Mr. Harrington must have left his children's name in that will?
Yes?
I'm sorry?
No, yes. Yes, sorry, yes, no.
What? So their names aren't mentioned?
I don't know, yes? No?
Are their names mentioned in the will? Yes or no? Is this a complicated question?
Yes.
You don't understand what I'm trying to say. Yes, this is a complicated question, or yes, their names are mentioned in the will.
Yes, their names are mentioned in the will.
I hate my job.
My name is mentioned in the will too.
That's nice of Mr. Timothy. Anything else in particular that happened recently?
Well, they were airing the 5th season of The Bel Air.
Listen! Anything happened in particular in the house? Fights? Arguments?
Well, I tried to stay out of the drama. What can I say? I have a good ear for drama. So, Chloe was shouting at me because I forgot to put sugar in her tea. And I had a fight with my mom because she wants me to get married again. And Mr. Connor was arguing with Mr. Timothy over the money. And Shafur confessed in his undying love to me.
Wait. Backtrack a little?
I know, right? When he said that he loves me, I can't.
No. I forgot to care less about that. We're talking about what happened with Connor and Mr. Timothy.
Oh, so Connor was asking for some money as usual, and Mr. Harrington threatened him to take off from his will. And I think he said something like, I would never give my money to an irresponsible person like you, so.
Oh, so do you usually like to eavesdrop on the Harrington's family?
I mean, I have to do something in my free time. These TV shows these days, they do not satisfy my need for drama.
Miss Crystal, from your experience in living in this household, would you say that the children are capable of doing something like this?
Well, Chloe's too self-absorbed to focus on killing someone. And Connor, well, he sure is a troublemaker, but a killer, he's not.
And how do you know?
I mean, the boy still sleeps with his favorite Power Ranger. And he has this kid's Rice Krispies cereal for breakfast every single morning. Which now, when I think about, makes him a serial killer.
Get up.
One last question though. Do you know who this watch belongs to?
Oh, good heavens, I could never afford a watch like that. Although now when I look at it, my late husband gave me a watch with similar design, and I happened to misplace it. I was looking for so long.
You just wasted a lot of our time. Thank you. Next.
You need me at any point.
I don't care. Leave.
You're so rude.
has the biggest mouth I've ever seen in my life. Yet she didn't tell us a single thing about the murder. Or about herself.
I don't think she did it. She's too preoccupied with what others are thinking. She can't pull this off.
Get the next one in. Hello, I'm Detective Robin, and this is Detective Mark. And you are...
The chauffeur, yes.
Chauffeur? We need to ask you a couple of questions.
Where were you at 11 last night?
11? Oh, get off work around then. Ah, yes, of course. So I was bored and I went to buy myself a pack of ciggies.
Where from?
You heard a Central store across the street? Why?
How long were you gone for?
Well, it doesn't take that long to buy a pack, so half an hour.
So, let me get this straight. In our reports right here, you're saying that it took you from 11 to 11:30 to get cigarettes and come back. Then why did it take you 2 hours to come back to the family estate? Reports tell us you came back at 1 in the morning.
So, basically, yeah, after I got the pack, I gathered around me mates. I gathered around me mates and we went and hit the club. You know, gotta have a social life. You know, actually, research says it's quite important.
At 1 in the morning.
Well, have you ever been to the club? That's when the party starts. That's when the whole city comes to life.
You work for Mr. Timothy, right? Is that going well?
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what I said.
Look, Shuffle, let's cut to the chase here. Our reports show that you are an overall unhappy person, dissatisfied with work, and an overall depressed person, just like a CMU college student.
Chauffeur, what's your real name?
Jack.
Okay, Jack.
Listen, call me chauffeur.
Why? Don't you get it? In order for the narrative to be more interesting, everyone has to be named, start with C.
Okay, sure. Chauffeur, whatever. We've had reports saying that you hated your work with Mr. Timothy.
Well, to be honest with you, yeah, I hated it. I mean, it paid my bills, but you know, my soul was never at rest.
So why didn't you just leave?
What do you think? What's the reason any of us work? I have to make a living somehow.
Okay, fine. We've heard that you've had your eyes on some money. Let me be a little more specific here. Mr. Timothy's inheritance money.
Let me guess. Crystal told you, didn't you? I knew that insufferable wench couldn't keep her mouth shut. Listen, of course I want money. Who doesn't? I'm a family to support, like I said. But just think about it, yeah? Use your common sense.
Okay.
How could an old man like me murder another old man like me?
Reports stated that the police found ash from Salem cigarettes on Mr. Timothy's suit after the murder. According to our reports, Mr. Timothy only smoked Dakota cigarettes, not Salem's. Your room, however, had a stack of Salem cigarettes under your bed. What do you have to say about that?
Shit. Oh, wait. No, I can explain, yeah? So last week, the gaffer, he ran out of cigarettes. He asked me for one. So I helped the man out. He must have smoked that one in his room.
That seems highly unlikely.
We've heard that your name is mentioned in Mr. Timothy's will, Shuffler.
Yeah, and what does that have to do with anything?
Well, it does suggest that you were in desperate need of some money.
Are you folks insinuating that I did this?
What kind of position this puts you in, right?
Listen, if you think that I had the tiniest bit to do with this, you're wrong. I'm a bloody chauffeur. I drive, I smoke, I drive. That's all I do. I am not capable of murder.
Okay. Can you possibly tell us anything that could help us solve this case?
Listen, okay, between you and me, you're wasting your time on all of this. Just arrest the boy and move on.
You mean Connor?
Yeah.
How are you so sure he did it?
I've He's the only one of us who has the guts to do something like this. Either him or his sister, and not Chloe.
Why do you say that?
I've never, ever in my life seen people love the life of luxury as much as these brats. They don't give a shite about their father.
One final question. Do you know whose watch I belong to?
Silly mama. That's a nice watch. It looks kind of familiar, but I'm sorry, no clue, officers.
Okay, well, thank you for your time. I'll take the watch from you now.
What are you doing? Oh! Jack! Mysterious man. In my opinion, he could have done it. Have you seen the way his lips were quivering when we asked him about the cigarettes? That's a definite giveaway that he was nervous. Get the next one in.
Hi, Detective Mark. Hi, Connor. I'm Detective Mark. This is...
I'm Kerry, you are.
I'm sorry, but the right to counsel is reserved for those who are arrested, unless you'd like to give that a try.
Why am I being questioned anyway? Why am I being questioned? You still have some superior work to do.
Listen, kid. As detectives, it is our job to make sure that we catch the killer.
Yes, I'm sure your job is marvelous. Get it on with.
I need to ask you some questions.
Make it quick.
Are you drunk?
No. Are you?
Listen, why don't we just cut to the chase? For starters, how about you tell us what happened that night at 11 o'clock?
Well, I was out drinking alone.
Where?
At the local pub where else would I drink?
Were you perhaps with someone who could confirm this?
I just said I went alone. Do you have a hearing problem?
Okay, listen. Connor, I'm gonna ask you a very simple question. How was your relationship with your father?
Well, I'm his son.
Cut the khala! I'll be very straightforward with you. We've had reports saying that you had a terrible relationship.
Yes, well, we didn't exactly see eye to eye. That doesn't mean I killed him.
Again, we are not insinuating that you killed him.
It is rather bizarre, Connor, how you're showing no emotion after your father's death. Sons usually express anger.
People grieve in different ways.
Okay, let's move on to something else, Connor. We've retrieved some evidence from your house. How do you explain this then? These footprints mark the ones from your very shoes. Now what could that mean?
Well, can you blame him? It just means that he has good taste in shoes.
No. Whatever. Could you tell us where this watch might belong to?
No.
Why didn't you just look at your wrist then?
Moral support.
We found a watch outside the window of your father's study room. Guess what? Fingerprint reports tell us that it is yours.
How did it get there?
That's what we'd like to know.
Guys, someone's obviously trying to set me up. Even if I did commit the murder, why would they leave me watch behind?
I don't know. Maybe it slipped out of your hand when you were running like an idiot.
I didn't do it.
Then how do you explain the fact that we saw you venting in the pub, talking about how you wanted your father dead hours before the murder?
But I was intoxicated. I didn't know what I was saying. I mean, this can't all be just one big coincidence. Someone's obviously trying to frame me.
You could make all of our lives easier if you just tell us where you were that night.
Are you even listening?
You're the one who said we were deaf.
That's it. I'm not thinking about without my lawyer.
Very well, get Mr. Connor's lawyer, but we're taking this case to court. Let us start from the beginning. We must present this case flawlessly to the court.
Alright, let's get things real quick, okay? Around 11:10, Mr. Harrington was in the study room, and he opened that window because he either saw the murderer and wanted to let him in, because he might have heard some noise outside, I don't know.
Or maybe he wanted to let the breeze in?
Are you heavy? What breeze? It's 110 degrees outside. Anyways, as I was saying, Once the murderer got in the room, he climbed in and stabbed Mr. Harrington in the neck using that knife.
They struggled against each other, knocking the lamp over. Due to the injury in his neck, he fell to the ground and lost the fight. The murderer then exits through the same window and leaves the house by jumping down and running away. His footprints were then found outside the window.
Are we sure it's a he?
Well, forensics got back to us and they told us that most likely a male, determined by weight, I'm guessing.
Understandable. Anyways, did you do research on the family history? Why did Chloe specifically mention that the business went bankrupt in the past?
Yes, so I found some newspapers from 1962. Timothy started a business, but it started as a failure, so he fired everyone who he hired. Anyway, everyone who he hired is dead now, so it doesn't really matter. Nothing interesting.
Alright, so let me get this straight. The only two physical pieces of evidence we have are the footprints and the watch. Both of which belong to this dumb kid over here, Connor Harrington. Mark, do you think that the kid is being framed?
Could be. We do not have a confession, though. He's the type to boast about his wrongdoings.
Yeah.
We'll have to see what the judge says.
Alright, I guess that's it.
All right. The Honorable Judge, Aaron White, presiding.
Calling the case of State versus Connor Harrington. Are both sides present and ready to begin?
Yes, Your Honor.
Clerk, swear in the jury.
Please stand with your right hand raised. Do you promise to fairly and honestly deliberate and reach a verdict to the best of your ability? So help you God.
I do.
Thank you, Your Honor. Esteemed members of the jury. To begin with, let's talk about the events that transpired on the night, March 2nd, 1995. March 2nd, 1995 was no ordinary night. This was the night we found Mr. Timothy Harrington lying dead in his study room. He was stabbed on the left side of his neck. He later died of blood loss and vascular damage. First to find Mr. Timothy Harrington was the housekeeper, Ms. Veronica Crystal, later followed by Detective Mark Sterling. Because Mr. Timothy Harrington was such a renowned businessman, he knew a lot of law enforcement officials. Evidences point towards the case that link to the defendant, watch, and footprints. This leads us to conclude that this was no freak accident, nor a suicide, but in fact, a murder. The state presents its case against the defendant, his son, Connor Harrington.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, in the eyes of the law of this great nation, my client, Mr. Connor Harrington, is innocent until proven guilty.
Fact.
In the absence of sufficient proof to place him at the scene of the crime, committing this barbaric act of which he has been accused, he should remain as free as every other man and woman in this courtroom. Now, the prosecution will attempt to present evidence that may seemingly connect my client to clues collected at the crime scene. Moreover, the prosecution will attempt to cement certain notions in the mind of the jury. The defense expects a number of outrageous statements to be made concerning my client. Some of these will attack his alleged connection to certain clues found at the scene of the crime, while others will attack even his very character and moral fiber. But, in the end, the truth will manifest itself clearly before the court. My client, the son of Mr. Timothy Harrington, is innocent of this despicable charge. The defense leaves this case to the best judgments of the court. Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you.
Mr. Aziz, can we call you the first witness?
state calls Miss Veronica Crystal.
Please stand with your right hand raised. You promise to honestly answer all questions asked to the best of your ability, so help you God.
I do.
Please state your name for the record.
My name is Veronica Crystal.
Permission to approach the witness, Your Honor?
Granted.
Miss Veronica, how did you know Mr. Timothy?
I worked for Mr. Harrington as a housekeeper for many years.
Were you present as they denied the murder?
Yes, I was the first one to find Mr. Harrington.
Can you describe what you saw at the scene?
So I entered the room with my tea, and then I saw Mr. Harrington lying on the ground and dead.
Interesting. Did any of his siblings live with him?
He lived with his son, Connor.
Was Connor present the night of the murder?
No, he was absent for several hours.
Would you say that Connor and his father were on bad terms?
Objection, Your Honor. Leading the witness.
Sustained.
How would you describe their relationship?
Tense.
So would you say that Connor was angry with his father?
Objection, Your Honor. He's clearly misquoting the witness here.
Sustained.
Elaborate on what you mean by the term tense.
They were often in a disagreement.
Disagreement about what?
About Mr. Harrington's money.
When was the last time you overheard such an argument?
Well, sometimes they'd fight for days, but the last time they fought was the day before the murder.
So you're saying that one day before Mr. Timothy Harrington was brutally murdered, he was arguing with his son?
Objection, Your Honor. That's an answer.
Overruled.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Would the defense like to ask any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Permission to object.
You may.
Miss Crystal, are you or were you ever married?
I lost my husband.
I'm so sorry. Was this recent?
It was less than a year ago.
Objection, Your Honor. I fail to see how this is relevant.
Your Honor, please let me show the courtroom what was this.
Okay, but as straightforward as possible, Maria. The witness may answer.
What was the question? We'll go on to the next one. So, were you on any sort of medication since this tragic accident?
I struggled after his passing.
Is that a yes?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So, what kind of medication?
Objection, Your Honor. I still fail to see how this is relevant.
Lord Maria, get to the point. Otherwise, I have to sustain the objection. And this is getting good.
So, were you told that there were any sort of side effects for this medication?
Why? Yes, but like...
Yes, and were one of these side effects extreme auditory hallucinations?
Well...
Yes, and you seem to have never heard Mr. Timothy Harrington and his son arguing. Yes, okay, and you were the only person living at the estate other than the poor Mr. Timothy Harrington and his son.
Objection, Your Honor. Assuming facts not in the evidence.
I'm done. No further questions, Your Honor.
Miss Crystal, you're excused. The prosecution may call their next witness.
The prosecution calls Detective Mark Sterling.
Please stand with your right hand raised. Do you promise to honestly answer all questions asked to the best of your ability, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Mark Sterling. Permission to approach the witness, Your Honor?
Granted.
Well, Mr. Detective. Mr. Detective, were you in charge of investigating this murder?
Yes, along with my partner, Detective Robin.
Was Detective Robin there with you first time you were at the scene?
No, I was originally there to visit Mr. Timothy. I usually go to just play poker or chess.
During your visits, did you ever hear anything bizarre about his son?
Objection, Your Honor. That would be hearsay.
Sustained.
Did you ever overhear any arguments between the two?
Yes, the day before the murder, I came by Mr. Harrington's house. And when I entered the house, I saw Mr. Connor storming out. It seemed to be an argument.
Yeah, I assume you weren't hallucinating then, were you? Whoa. Mr. Connor, the day after, which was the day of the murder, did you notice anything else that was interesting?
Yes, I saw Connor in a restaurant. He seemed to be intoxicated and in a sour mood.
When was this?
This would be only 2 hours before the murder.
Can you tell us more about the watch that was collected at the scene?
The watch was found outside the window. It seemed to be dropped mistakenly in a hurry or exit.
Interesting. And were any fingerprints collected from this watch?
Yes.
Were you able to identify the owner?
Yes, conclusively.
Is the owner present in this very courtroom today?
Yes.
Can you point?
Oh no, that's bonkers.
Let the record show that Detective Mark Sterling pointed towards the defendant, Connor Harrington. Did you notice anything else at this time?
Yes, there were footprints outside the window.
Your Honor, I tender.
Would the defense like to ask any questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you very much. Permission to approach?
Granted.
Hello, Mr. Mark Sterling. Was there a weapon of some sort found at this crime scene?
Yes, there was a knife with proof or evidence of the victim's blood on it. Our investigation has led us to believe that this is the murder weapon that was used to kill the victim.
And were there fingerprints found on this knife?
Yes,
Yes. Whose fingerprints were they?
Connor's sister Chloe, but this is inconclusive as anyone in the house could have used this knife just to prepare food.
Ah, yes. So anyone like my client, so were his fingerprints found on this knife?
No.
No. Yes. Thank you, Your Honor. No further questions.
Detective Mark Sterling, may I leave the stand? Would the prosecution like to call any further witnesses?
Yes, one more, Your Honor. Miss Chloe Harrington. Get him, sis.
Please stand with your right hand raised. Do you promise to honestly answer all questions asked to the best of your ability? So help you God.
I do.
Please state your name for the record.
Chloe Harrington.
You may take it.
Permission to approach the witness, Your Honor?
You may.
Miss Chloe, what is your relationship to the deceased?
I'm his daughter.
Interesting. And did you live with your father?
No, I'm married and I live with my husband.
Do you have any siblings?
Yes, one, Connor Harrington.
Does he live with his father?
Yes.
How old is Connor?
Just turned 23.
Does he study?
No.
Does he work?
No.
You're lucky your parents weren't around. So would you say that Connor strictly relied on your father's wealth and did not by no means support himself in any other way?
Your Honor, argumentative, and he's not really asking a question here. He's building a case.
Okay. Mr. Aziz, can you please rephrase your question?
Did you say your brother was financially dependent on your father?
Yes.
Is it well mentioned your father's inheritance?
Both of our names are yes.
So in the case where your father was to be part of a fatal incident, your brother would inherit a considerable amount.
Your Honor, leading the witness again.
Come on, this was gonna be good. Sustained. Mr. Aziz, I have to warn you once again to be careful with your questions.
Thanks, Your Honor. Miss Chloe, did your brother ever wish ill on your father?
Can you repeat the question?
Did he ever say anything life-threatening towards your father? Miss Chloe, allow me to remind you that you are under oath. Anything you say but the truth, and only the truth, can be considered as perjury.
Yes.
When did he do it?
The night of the murder.
Disgusting.
He was not sober! He didn't mean it!
Objection.
Order, please!
He's battering the witness, Your Honor.
Your Honor. Next. Your Honor. The prosecution rests its case.
Defense, like to ask any questions?
Not at this time, Your Honor.
Yeah, bless. You may leave the stand. The defense may call their first witness.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. The defense would like to call Mr. Jack Pierce to the stand, if that's all right.
Please stand with your right hand raised.
Listen, we've been through this enough times.
Mr. Pierce, stand up.
Do you promise to answer all questions asked to the best of your ability?
Yeah.
Please state your name.
Jack Pierce.
I don't know if that.
Permission to approach, Your Honor.
Granted.
Mr. Jack Pierce. So how did you know the
I was the family chauffeur for quite a while.
I see. So were you present at the estate the night of the incident?
Fortunately, no.
Yes. So where were you then?
I was out buying some ciggies.
So that quick window you were out buying a pack of cigarettes. I hope you're faster in the car than you are on your feet.
Master Connor, I'm so sorry. I don't think this is looking good for you if a defense plan is as dead as a joke.
Yeah. So what brand of cigarettes were you getting?
Objection, Your Honor. Wait, we thought it's not, but let's.
I'm not going to touch on the girl, but please.
I don't.
Well, if you insist on knowing if this is absolutely crucial to your case, I want you to guess it. It's
Salem's, yes. Were you aware that ash from the tobacco brand Salem's was found actually on the body of the victim at the crime scene? Yes, and to your knowledge, did Mr. Timothy Harrington tend to smoke Salem cigarettes?
No.
No. And did Mr. Connor Harrington ever smoke at all as far as you know?
For all his vices, no, Connor's not the smoker.
Yes. So you are the only person on the entire estate who actually smoked this very specific brand of cigarette, of whom witches' ashes were found on the body.
I've explained this to the cops here. Mr. Timothy just asked me for a cigarette. It's not that hard to believe.
I see. So regarding the relationship with Mr. Timothy, did you enjoy working for him?
I suppose it paid well.
So most of your motivations are money related?
Objection, Your Honor. Argumentative.
Sustained.
So Mr. Timothy Harrington has guessed how much money he could pay you well.
Listen, okay? Fine, yes.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Boy. Sit down. Did they give you permission?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Your Highness. May I have your permission?
Does the prosecution have any questions?
Not at this moment, Your Honor.
The defense may call their next witness.
The defense would like to call Mr. Connor Harrington to the stand, Your Honor.
You are aware that your client has a right not to testify if he may choose so.
Yes, sir.
And you still would like to call him on the stand knowing that this will allow the prosecution to cross-examine him?
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Maybe. Okay. Mr. Connor, please.
Please stand with your right hand raised. Do you promise to answer all questions asked to the best of your ability? So help you
Yes,
God.
yes.
Please state your name for the record.
Connor Harrington.
And the defense will tender the witness to the prosecution.
I'm gonna be asking your client any questions. Oh, police officer. Mr. Aziz, knock yourself out.
Mr. Connor, what is your relation?
Sounds like you haven't been paying attention, Mr. Aziz. I'm the one that's setting up for murder here. Nice to meet you, James' son.
Thank you very much. Mr. Connor, were you present at the murder scene at 11 p.m. that night?
He was jumping around my dad's study room. No, I was not.
Son, you're cracking me up, but please answer the questions asked as straightforward as possible.
Mr. Connor, were you aware of any evidences found at the scene?
What? Wait. Did you find my dad's CMU hoodies? Yeah, they had a lot of events.
Actually, Mr. Connor, your father wrote the letter C at his table. Seems like it was his dying message.
Well, what, the letter C? Because my name starts with the C? That can't be the best thing the prosecution has. You guys are wasting your time.
Mr. Connor, can you explain the watch that was found at the scene? Can you explain that to the jury?
No, but neither can the prosecution prove it.
Prove what?
That my fingerprints were there only on the night of the murder, and not the night before.
Mr. Connor, were you intoxicated that night?
I don't remember.
Mr. Connor, two witnesses here claim against that. Were you with your sister that night? Can you at least remember that?
Yes.
So your sister would know if you were intoxicated?
I suppose.
Your sister was in this very court today when she testified that you were indeed intoxicated. Can you remember that?
Okay, fine, I was intoxicated. That doesn't mean I killed my father.
Well, Mr. Connor, let me ask you a question. Have you ever physically assaulted a relative?
No.
Have you ever physically assaulted a stranger?
No.
Were you ever arrested for physical assault?
Yes.
Interesting. Who did you assault?
I don't answer.
Funny story. You are. You agreed to testify.
Mr. Connor, allow me to refresh your memory. This document, can you tell us what this document is?
It's my criminal record.
Can you elaborate on what it entails?
I assaulted a police officer.
The observation is destroyed and recorded. Order! You'd like to down rules and orders, kid.
It wasn't my fault.
Did you view your father as somewhat of an authority figure? Shouldn't you be objecting? Did you view your father as an outspoken way of getting what you want? Because that's what
I'm talking about.
Did it anger you?
Badgering my witness.
Under what ground?
Badgering my witness.
Sustained, Mr. Aziz.
Thanks, Your Honor.
That's the way you are.
Mr. Connor, your father was a very wealthy man. He was also very wise with his money. Did it anger you that he did not let you have everything he could have while he was still alive? Did it anger you that you had to kill him?
Badgering again. Objection.
Your Honor. Your Honor, the prosecution rests its case. And yes, I might fancy Maria alone.
Oh my ears. The jury may deliberate to, the jury may retire to deliberate. Has the jury reached a verdict yet?
Yes, Your Honor.
In the case of the state versus Mr. Connor Harrington, for the murder of Mr. Timothy Harrington on March 2nd, 1995. The jury finds the defendant, Mr. Connor Harrington, guilty.
Mr. Connor Harrington was sentenced for 10 years.
Amir, man! I've seen what they do to pretty people in prison!
What are you doing here?
Connor, it doesn't matter. Timothy, it doesn't matter. Let me in.
Why didn't you come from the front door?
I'll explain later. Let me in.
I'm glad to see you, but why didn't you come from the front door?
Timothy, I've been meaning to have a conversation with you. Do you know who I am?
Man, why are you acting so weird? Come have a seat. I'll let Crystal get us some water.
I'm not going anywhere.
What is this about? Is it your wife again? Because I can understand.
No, this is about you and your business in 1962.
Look, it's not making any sense.
Do you remember Sterling?
Sterling? As in Raheem Sterling?
No. No, you buffoon. Sterling doesn't exist at this time. I'm talking about Zeke Sterling.
Zeke Sterling? How do you know?
Zeke Sterling, a 30-year-old man you hired for your business in 1961. When your business failed, you fired him. Do you remember that?
Yes, but what does this have anything to do with me or you?
After you fired him, he committed suicide. And the state tried to sue you, but they failed.
No, he committed suicide because he can't tell it.
No. He wrote me a letter saying that he went insane because you made him financially unstable. And he committed suicide because of that. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Oh. Take your time.
What?
Who am I? I'm Markster.
Darling? You mean your son?
Yes, I'm his son.
What are you
I'm here to avenge death. Because you made him commit suicide. This is for you, Father. I finally did it. I finally killed my father's murderer, Mr. Timothy Harrington. Now, just to satisfy your curiosity, I'll be showing you how I did it. First, I faked a British accent. Then I had to get close to Mr. Timothy, you know, earn his trust. It was easy to get close to him because his children didn't even give him attention. So I slit his throat. It was as easy as the ABCs. Slit his throat, made him write a little letter C with his own blood to frame everyone else in this household. And this timekeeper, you ask? This I stole from Connor in the restaurant when I bumped into him. It was a sleight of hand kind of trick, you know? Oldest trick in the book. Dropped it out the window, and then I stole Connor's shoes. Made a couple of footprints outside of the window. And that was that. That was enough to frame Mr. Connor Harrington. But that's not all I did. It would be too obvious if I only framed Connor. I had to frame the others somehow. So I bought some of the cigarettes that I knew the chauffeur smoked. Dakota cigarettes, if I believe. Bought some, smoked a couple, put some ash on Mr. Timothy's coat, and that was that for chauffeur. And then jumped outside the window. I'm not going to jump over this, I'll just go around it. I left the house. That was that. But I did one more thing, really. I bribed the defendant. She really wasn't with Connor, or on Connor's side. Now, that was that. Easy as the ABCs. Easy as the ABCs, just like my father taught me when I was a little boy, a little younger. I'll never forget those times, just as I'll never forget the scene of me walking home excited to learn what it meant to be a father, what it learned to be a man. I'm not a father yet. You know what I'm saying? Just as I'll never forget the scene of me walking home excited to learn what it meant to be a man from my father, but instead finding him hanging from the ceiling in a dark room. He left me a letter that wrote, "Mark, I wasn't man enough to be the man that I couldn't be." And that's what I did tonight. I did what I came here to do. Now, what did I do tonight? I served some divine judgment upon these devils. That's what I did tonight. You're right, Timothy. Life isn't fair. Checkmate.
Mr. Timothy, I brought you some tea and Detective Mark. Oh my God!